What's good, Tyler Louder? I am your guide Q. Welcome back to some AITA Filtered. It's like Am I the Antagonist, except it's actually good. We got some spicy stories to get into, so let's just journey on here. Am I the antagonist for being upset at my fiance for buying me a replacement phone after mine broke and refusing to accept it? So there's a significant wealth gap between me and my fiance. About a year into our relationship, I admitted that it made me uncomfortable when he bought me overly expensive gifts. We eventually came to an agreement that we would have a maximum budget of £500 for gifts, but if we got married, the limit would disappear. He was very good at sticking to it until we got engaged, and now he's really towing the line. Yesterday, I broke my phone. We don't live together, but every Friday we have dinner together, so I emailed him and told him my phone wasn't working, and he should email me about dinner instead. When he picked me up, he gave me a new iPhone and AirPods. I told him he didn't need to get me a new phone as I was going to get mine fixed, but he said my phone was old and I should have upgraded ages ago. I pointed out that the phone and AirPods combined were way over the agreed maximum budget, but he tried to spin it that they weren't gifts and that he was actually being very selfish by giving me the phone and it was for his benefit because if I didn't have a phone I couldn't text him and he liked texting me. I didn't want to argue before we had dinner, so I dropped it until we were driving home. I tried to explain to him that he couldn't just break our agreement, but he wasn't listening and kept using excuses about how we were practically married so the agreement shouldn't count anymore. I got frustrated because he wasn't listening and told him to take the stuff back. He said no and told me to give them to my sister if I didn't want them. I intentionally left them in his car at the end, and today I got an upset email from him telling me he would be dropping off his non-gifts later today. Am I the antagonist? So please let me know your take on this one, but for me this is just a really strange situation that seems like if it keeps going unaddressed could be a bigger problem in the future. Because on the surface, it kind of feels to me like the person who wrote this is more of the asshole, because the fiance, it just seems that his love language is gift giving, and his love language makes you uncomfortable on a base level. And I think the whole extreme gift-giving thing would be different if there were, like, abusive or manipulative undercurrents in this relationship and he was trying to pull some sort of financial domination thing, but it all sounds very wholesome to me, but you are just uncomfortable with it, and this is where the marriage problem comes up, because if you're uncomfortable with the gift-giving now, what difference really at the end of the day is walking down the aisle going to make? Like, you guys are already engaged, you're going to get married, and he's trying to get you this essential item. Yeah, he might have gone over the top with the type of phone and the AirPods with it, but like, are you really gonna be comfortable with all this crazy gift giving once you're married? Is like all the discomfort just going to melt away? Like, I don't get what's going on here. Please give me your thoughts. Alright, I have a feeling that this one is going to be pretty divisive, or at least my opinion on it might be. Am I the antagonist for telling my wife that it would be controlling and inappropriate for her to try and change how my family does Christmas? My wife and I rotate who we spend Christmas with, so 1 year her family and 1 year my family. I don't love doing it with her family, and she isn't a big fan of my mother. Please don't tell us to do it as a nuclear family, we both hate that idea. Our families are pretty different. Her family is much more about the kids, even the dinner is tailored more to what kids like, bland in my opinion, but I would never say that. The kids each get like 1,000 gifts and spend Christmas running around at my mother-in-law's house, making a huge ruckus. Christmas with my family is amazing food, though we usually have to pack our toddler her own meal, a more relaxed atmosphere, and my mom doesn't get any of her grandkids gifts. I don't know her exact reasoning. She says that only the nuclear family should buy gifts, though she does get me and my two sisters something, but gives it to us about a week in advance. My kids don't know that she does that. My mom encourages the kids to play in another room so the adults can talk, but me and my wife put our foot down because these kids are just too young. To be clear, we exchange gifts at home before going. My wife just finds it really weird that no one in the family buys gifts for other people's kids. It has nothing to do with my mom being frugal or anti-materialism. My mom and stepdad go all out for each other. Anyway, it is our year to do Christmas with my side, and my wife came to me and proposed, suggesting to the family that we only buy for kids and make Christmas more kid-friendly. I told her she really has no right to tell my mom how to spend her money, and that would not go over well with my very child-free sister. Other sister has kids as well. She said she feels that Christmas is supposed to be this magical time for kids, and my mom and stepdad, the child-free sister and brother-in-law have their anniversaries, birthdays, and Valentine's to spoil each other. She said she just really hates how much Christmas is about the adults in my family, and it makes her sad. I said her points are totally valid, but it would be controlling and inappropriate to try and change how my family has always done things, and she would definitely offend my mom. She said I'm putting my mom's feelings ahead of hers, and she just wants to bring it up, and she doesn't like that I use the word controlling. So here's the deal for me. I don't think that there's anything wrong with, like, defending your mom's tradition, but I also don't think that there's anything wrong with suggesting this idea. I do not think that that's controlling. I think I would also be offended if you called that controlling, because at the end of the day, yes, your mom's like the matriarch of the family or whatever, but your wife is also a member of the family, and I feel like for family gatherings, a family member should be able to, like, have a suggestion, like, you know, just bring it up. Because personally, I know a lot of people on Reddit, like, don't like kids a lot, but the fact of the matter is, we were all kids at one point, and if you celebrate Christmas, Christmas is best when you are a kid, and it is about the kids and their experience on Christmas, in my experience. It's also a reason for families to get together, but I feel like it's a special day for kids, and so I would definitely personally prefer, as a kid, to go to that other family's party. Yes, it might be not enjoyable at all for adults, but if you're a kid, that's definitely the better party, and if I were a parent during Christmas, I would be more concerned about my kids' experience. But, like, at the end of the day, you have to go to both families' parties. I just don't think that this is a bad suggestion to bring up. That's, I guess, my opinion at the end of the day. Alright, spicy AITA post. This person actually deleted their account. That's how you know it's good. Am I the antagonist for calling my husband a bad father because he allows his adult daughter's birthday to overshadow Christmas every year? When I met my husband, James, he had a 14-year-old daughter, Ella. Ella and I never really bonded, as she doesn't really like people. James always told me to leave Ella alone and respect her boundaries. I do believe he took her boundaries too far in some cases, as Ella is now a 27-year-old woman who refuses to speak when she doesn't want to. I have a 13-year-old daughter, Ava. The pregnancy was a surprise, and I know the timing is bad that I got pregnant right around the time I met Ella, and honestly, I've always felt that James prefers Ella. Ella's a lot more like him personality-wise and is very subtle, but I feel like he loves Ella more. Ella never accepted her sister or I, but I've made peace with that because getting Ella to speak is literally like pulling teeth. Ava hates Ella, but she knows that she has to be civil to everyone. Ella's birthday is December 23rd. Hey, that's my mom's birthday. Hi, Mom, I love you. And as a result, James never made too big of a deal about Christmas. Her birthday always took priority. This became an issue when Ava was born. James had always promised Ella that he would take her to Europe for her 16th birthday, and Ella was insistent it had to be on her actual birthday, so the Christmas when Ava was 2, he actually missed Christmas, and we had the first fight of our entire marriage. He also told Ella crazy things like if a man doesn't make a big deal out of her birthday to dump his ass, and that her birthday is much more important than Christmas. As a result, Ava complains every year that James cares more about Ella's birthday than about Christmas, and she thinks Ella gets an unfair amount of money spent on her. Her birthdays are usually expensive, and 2 years ago she had a December wedding which James fully paid for. Even that Christmas, he refused to not do something elaborate for her birthday, and couldn't understand why Ava was annoyed. Also, Ella hosts a huge Christmas Eve, which we are all invited to, but Ava and I don't go, due to it being mostly her husband's family, so everything in December sometimes feels it is about Ella. This year I feel bad because I couldn't get Ava what she really wanted because it is out of stock, and Ella just had a baby and my husband bought her a ring with the baby's birthstone, which Ava knows about. Now Ella wants to go to Colorado for her birthday/Christmas Eve. James says he is going to go because he can drive back and be home by about 10. I finally got annoyed and asked if he thinks he spends a fair amount of money/time/energy on Ella versus Ava, and I said he makes every Christmas about Ella and her birthday. He said I was being unfair because Ella has never excluded me from her plans, though she is rude and doesn't talk to me either. Finally, I snapped at him that he is a bad father because one of his kids is a grown-ass woman and one is not. He is now upset and says that was mean to say and that I just don't like Ella and he tries his best. I want everybody in the comments writing fucking paragraphs about what is going on in this story because I need help. This is so, like, my brain is just absolutely broken thinking about the situation, and I think my problem is that I think that the whole birthday, Christmas thing is just a symptom of a way bigger problem here. Like, the second I start trying to think about these family dynamics, my head actually starts to hurt because it's so clear that you have a very bad relationship with your stepdaughter. It's like non-existent. You're choosing not to participate in events that she puts on and stuff like that, which is your choice at the end of the day. But like, if you've been making choices like that over the years, Ella may have seen that maybe you're not as interested in her interests. But of course, this is all speculation because we obviously have 3 other distinct perspectives on the situation that we cannot hear at all. But it's clear that the father and Ella have a very close relationship, which I think is good and important because Ella seems like kind of a shy person, might not have a ton of people in her life, so great to have like a good relationship with your father or whatever. And like, with that dynamic of like them really having a good relationship and like you and Ava kind of sounding like you're both fed up with what's going on here, like, there is the perfect recipe for a family civil war right now. So like, I don't know, this just kind of makes me like very concerned for this family. I swear to God, I think I've said this before, but we need like a family counseling subreddit where people just post like each person's perspective of the same situation so that we could actually know what is likely going on, or at least get more details filled in, because I can't make heads or tails of this. Let me know what you guys think, because I don't even know who could be in the wrong. Like, the devil's in the details. Like, all of these relationships could be unhealthy. Anybody could be a villain in this situation. We just don't really know. I don't know. Hey, if you like Am I the Antagonist and AITAFiltered, I have an entire playlist that's going to pop up in the top right corner of your screen. Feel free to check it out if you want more of this. I would like to give a major shout out to Hannah, Matthew Kendall, Caitland, Beth the Dork, Ashton Jacobson, June, Rocket Fist Rick, Alicia, Kennedy DeSilvis, Tapey, Hyper Ninja Child, Jared D, Regrettable Stitches, Allison B, Kaya Bay, Brittany, and Catco, as well as everyone else you see on your screen for being top tier channel members. I think I might put the emo pop punk outros on hold for a little while. One, to just check out the audience retention stats to see how many people stick around through it, and also because from some of the comments I've seen, it seems like there might be a sort of like silent majority of people that are off-put by the just jarring difference in the outro from the rest of the video. So let me know what you think. I'm cool with it either way. I'll probably be posting real music on my second channel or somewhere else at some point, so you will be able to find it if you want it. But anyway, I'll see you guys super soon. Skate on the best of your abilities. Make sure you're drinking a sufficient amount of water, taking care of yourselves and the people around you. And yeah, peace out, Cub Scouts.